So, with the shocking Monday Night Raw ending with Seth Rollins turning on the Shield, I gotta say, I was very excited and very shocked that it did happen. So, with Seth Rollins turning on his veteran with assaulting him in the back, who knows if it was his own option or if Triple H found a way to get him or goad him into doing something like that in a way, because that was plan B for Triple H attacking the Shield. So, basically, with him taking away the architect of the Shield, basically, with him picking out the architect of the Shield and the Peacemaker and the Keeper, which indeed was Rollins, kind of shows Bishop that he had a chance to deal. So they found a way to
more chance. So basically, it seemed like they have been having faith in Daniel Bryan, and they're still waiting for that moment to happen. But Stephanie McMahon finally put the final straw in and say, you know what, it's the last straw. If Daniel Bryan cannot compete in Money in the Bank, she is going to be officially, finally forced to give up the world title. And then the Money in the Bank, instead of the Money in the Bank up there, the world title will be up there. So basically, Stephanie McMahon doesn't have to fully decide who's going to be the new world champion, but it's still up for grabs, and anybody could be the world champion. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. And with Stephanie McMahon could continue her feud with Daniel Bryan, with her and Triple H feuding with Daniel Bryan, I think the story could still continue from there, from then on out. So that's what happened from there. And then I don't know, Batista could have been a Money in the Bank qualifier, but Triple H said even if he wants to put a world title there and give the title to Batista, there's no competitive world champion. So that's what I gotta say to that. Basically, John Cena came out and elaborated on that, saying yes, you want an active world champion, and he talked about him and her husband Triple H, who had surgeries at a comeback to the world title match. And basically, he said if Daniel Bryan was to give the world title match, he may never be world champion ever again. He may never have an opportunity like that ever again, because basically the whole purpose was, but I would say it still didn't erase the fact that he won those two matches at WrestleMania, that he climbed and had to work hard for, beating Triple H and Orton and Batista to be world champion in those two separate matches that did happen, that led him to be a world champion, quite frankly. So that's what I gotta say to that. And so with all that injuries that did happen, Daniel Bryan did immediately come back, which was completely a shocker to say the least. So that's what I gotta say to that. So I'm still waiting for that moment to come when Daniel Bryan can compete, but unfortunately, hopefully Money in the Bank does serve as the last straw from there, with John Cena basically transitioning conversation from being well knowledgeable and very transitional to just completely throwing insults at Stephanie McMahon that did lead her to in a match with Kane. The match ended in DQ. I didn't think I need a clear winner or loser, but luckily Kane did brutalize John Cena, and John Cena did fought off, and then Kane eventually got up, which is kind of hard to believe. So that's what I gotta say to that. So still a great story to tell from there. So basically, with Brie Bella quitting, Nikki felt left out because her sister quit, standing up for her husband Daniel Bryan. But unfortunately, the story sold where she was in a handicap match with Alicia Fox and Oksana. The match didn't amuse me as much because basically Alicia Fox and Oksana beat Nikki Bella, and I don't know when's the next time around, but Alicia Fox continued her assault and her antics alongside Oksana. So hopefully, I don't know where the story continues from there, but hopefully Nikki Bella does get her retribution. And then with Paige, Paige being absent after defending her Divas title, I'm waiting for AJ to return. So I don't know if AJ will return or whatnot, or if she's going to officially leave, but I don't see her quitting quite yet. So we got to see her rematch clause being invoked in. That way the feud can continue from there. Because Paige nailed one move, the Paige Turner, and then she became the new Divas champion. So that's what I got to say to that. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. Hopefully the character could develop from there. So that's what I'm looking for. So yeah, that's what I say to that. Next thing to talk about is the mid-card champions. Sheamus with the upset win on Cesaro, and then Wade Barrett put on a great match with Rob Van Dam as his Rob Van Dam did put on a great match, and it did show who he is with his wrestling fighting style, and Wade Barrett with Bad News Barrett becoming the still Intercontinental Champion after successfully defending it against RVD, which was still great. Unfortunately, tag team match ended up with Cesaro cowering out, and then with Sheamus and RVD capitalizing on Wade Barrett and Cesaro walk out to win, and yeah, they won. So that's what I got to say to that. Alexander Rusev, the Russian hero thing that did happen, the inauguration or whatnot, it didn't throw me because Big E, I thought that was going to be an official feud, but he ended up tapping out, and I'm not sold at all on there. But if Rusev was to overcome a legitimate feud, that's when he'll sold me there. So hopefully it could give him something more to do instead of just him squashing everybody, especially Big E, who's supposed to be one of the biggest guys, didn't even get out of the camel clutch. I don't know. Hopefully if Swagger does turn face, or someone like Mark Henry. But until then, I'm waiting for that moment to come. Hopefully Mark Henry, they don't end up squashing him, just making him look like a fool, and then just making Rusev look like he's just running through everybody, and it just feels so forced. Like, you need to make it so well achieving that Rusev can get there to that rise, and on top of that, it doesn't have to just be thrown there and just completely show no credibility. So hopefully the credibility is still there with Rusev overcoming one of his toughest challenges, but I'm just waiting for that to come around. But he still is very phenomenal. That's what I gotta say to that. And I love the Instagram pic with Rusev and Lana going to the basketball game, the Clipper game, which is funny. So yeah, that's what I gotta say to that. But anyway, yeah, quite frankly, I said what I said. Hornswoggle and 3MB and Los Matadores El Torito, I'm not interested in it anymore. Basically, Hornswoggle gets his head shaved bald, which I saw coming, and unfortunately, that just felt so forced, and I cannot believe that happened. And on top of that, I'm waiting for his hair to grow back. So hopefully this feud's over, and hopefully 3MB can finally get a win and make it look so legit and not anything retarded. But one more thing I did forgot to say is Rybaxel versus Goldust and Sin Cara. Unfortunately, the Rhodes Brothers did lose to Rybaxel, but still sold a great match and showed potential of the Rhodes Brothers winning. But unfortunately, they lost, and Cody Rhodes, like, you should be able to find yourself in a better tag team partner. Basically, I don't know, it showed a different way of Cody Rhodes breaking away from Goldust instead of the legitimate Cody Rhodes turns on Goldust and said, "You're nothing. I've been a loser since I've been with you," just like with Primetime Players, because they already did that with Primetime Players and Tons of Funk, and mainly the Primetime Players. So that's what I gotta say to that, man. Especially when Titus O'Neil said, "I've been a loser with you, Darren," and so I decided to drop the 200-something pound of Darren Young weight off my back, and then he beats him up at the end. Fortunately, they're looking forward to the feud to aim towards SummerSlam, which I'll be great, but unfortunately, Goldust turned down the suggestion to fight his brother at WrestleMania 30, which he did refuse to follow through, which was unfortunate. So, one thing I could say is that hopefully Cody Rhodes and Goldust does have a different narrative and a different transition, and then hopefully with Dusty Rhodes, he probably may be around, but who knows what happens from there. So, yeah. So that's my video, and I'm intrigued with what happens. So, hope you have a nice day, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.